talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about being a mom
Hmm.
and identity. And I think I'm gonna pose this question.
Okay.
Um, have you ever felt like in your journey of motherhood,
Hmm.
and when you became moms kind of early, you didn't have your own self-identity?
Immediately, yes. I feel like I didn't have any individuality. Like I
Mhm.
didn't know
Yeah,
Jada because before Jada could be Jada, Jada was a mom.
yeah,
So like,
agreed.
yeah, like there was no like I didn't have a baby at 30 where like I
Yeah,
I was somebody and then I became a mom and now
right.
I'm trying to get back to that.
Yeah,
It was like I had to like create myself. I feel like I
yeah.
can't even say find myself. I had to like
Right.
create
Yeah.
like,
Like
all
become
right, Jada, yeah,
yourself.
like who do you want to be? Like
Right.
what do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Where do you want to work? Like I feel like I had to like create the life that I wanted
Hmm.
and like really obviously seek God about like who he created me to be,
Hmm.
but like really just be like, okay, so outside of you changing these diapers, like what do you like to do? What are your
Yeah.
hobbies? And I think it's important to maintain that now,
Yeah.
even as we changed, right? Because like I went from 15 to then being an adult or a legal adult
Yeah.
and then turning 25 and then getting older than 25. And it's
Yeah.
like of all those stages, like you still are learning and things are
Yeah.
so different.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still figuring out how to like maintain my individuality.
Right. So was there ever like a pivotal moment where you were just like, hey, like I think I know me now? At least like more than before.
Hmm.
Like I think I know myself enough now.
Yeah. I think after I turned 25, and I don't remember like a pivotal moment, but I remember like people asking me like, what do you like to do for fun? Or
Mm-hmm.
what are your hobbies?
Yeah. And that's always like such a hard
Hobby.
question to answer.
And so I didn't want to be that person who was always like, well, I work and take care of my kid. I wanted to be like,
Yeah.
no, I have a healthy balance. I color, I do art, I go to the park. Like I wanted to have like, but I feel like when you were like that, someone else is gonna catch on to that
Yeah.
individuality and say, I need to work on that too.
Yeah.
And I want that to be the normal for moms. Like I want that to be the
Yeah.
norm. I want the balance to be the norm. Like, yeah, I have a hobby. I have a
Right.
couple of them. You want to
Right.
see? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be stuck in like,
Yeah. And I think that that's
yeah,
a good point, especially like for our like new mom friends that
yeah.
like just became moms for like the very first time
Hmm.
at like 30 or close to 30, around 30. And like I can only imagine it being like completely different
Yeah.
because like you've been doing all this stuff. Like I
By
was going
yourself.
to, we
Yeah.
go to the movies and we go out for brunch and we go to wine taste, like like we're doing all these things
Hmm.
already. So like immediately I'm going back to doing those because that's what I like to do.
Hmm.
But like I struggled with that for like a
Yeah.
really long time, because Sophia was with me all the time.
Yeah.
And it was just, and I think even like my family, they didn't really encourage the
The balance.
individuality. Like it was just like, your mom, this
Be
is
a
what you're
mom.
supposed to do. Like
Hmm.
you don't have time for you. Like, who
Yeah.
are you? What is you? There
Literally.
is no you. It's
Yeah.
her. So the concept was hard for my brain to process.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe even probably within the last like 3 years,
Hmm.
I just started to
Yeah.
like learn like what the heck do you really even like?
It's been
And I know
3 years.
that like I like live music. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy doing that. And like who would have known? I didn't even
Yeah.
know. And I was just like, "Eh." So like, we be going to like bad Thursdays and like doing things. And I'm just like, this is so fun for me.
Yeah.
But like I don't think that, I would have ever really gotten to that point if I wasn't like forced to make certain decisions for
Yep.
myself and Sophia. And they were hard decisions, but I
Hmm.
think it was important for me to make those
It was
decisions so that
necessary
I could
for sure.
find who I am and figure that out. And I
I
mean,
agree.
still figuring it out.
It's been 3 years for me too. That's funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw. what happened 3 years ago? So this
See,
was
that's what I'm saying. There was
24.
nothing pivotal for me, but like,
So that was like right after COVID, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we were at home coloring and stuff enough,
maybe
and we were just like, you know what?
gotta get out
It's back to
there.
work. Like, I gotta figure this stuff out and like be at home and like, I don't know, out of business. And oh
Yeah,
no, that wasn't right directly after COVID. That was what,
3 years
what
ago,
happened?
it's 2024,
24.
so that'll be
Okay, yeah,
2021.
2021. You right. Okay.
Yeah, you were right.
Okay, yeah. I was just like, wait.
Yeah.
That was
I
when I know.
mean, that was a pivotal moment for everybody.
Yeah.
A lot changed, a lot happened in that time that
Yeah.
maybe after that it was like
Like something just kind of like
switched.
switched. I don't know, like I guess for me it was Sophia going to be with her dad
Yeah.
and it being the very first time she'd ever been away from me
Mm-hmm.
in all of her 9.5 years of life.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, so what am I
Yeah.
supposed to be doing? Like outside of being a mother, like, and for a while it took a while for me to even really feel like I deserve to be more than just a
Oh yeah,
mother.
for sure.
Like it was just like, no, you're supposed to be a mom. Like now that she's not here, then what are you? Like
Yeah.
why, what is there
No,
for
I
you?
I get that. I don't even know if that's mom guilt because
Mm,
I
And
wouldn't consider it that. I feel
yeah,
like it's more like a stereotype. Like it was the standard of what
yeah,
everybody was telling you.
right,
Like
right,
outside of being a mom, you are nobody. Like all
yeah,
you can do is be a mom,
right,
sun up to sundown. Like
yeah,
that's it. There's no me time. Like
yeah. And I think deep down a lot of that was just kind of like piled on and piled on and piled
yeah.
on like of years of really just hearing, no, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Like, this is your choice. You made this decision, so you
Yeah.
gotta like, live with that. And I'm honestly kind of glad, like, at some point I had to like turn off the noise
Yeah.
and say,
So people will use that as a punishment.
yeah,
Who are you to punish me and tell me?
but no, even though God said he will work out everything together for my good.
Period.
So even though I was a young parent and I
Hmm.
was like, 18 when I had my kid, that does
Yeah.
not mean that it was his will for me to be
Girl.
alone, in
Don't
life.
even get me
Like
started. When
that's the
I,
one thing that I be like, all right, so look, like you can't say you supposed to be doing like it's still not his will for you to be alone in life as a parent.
yeah,
Like that's not, you know,
I grew up in church and I let these church people
mm,
tell me how I was supposed to act, who I
yeah,
was supposed to be, what kind of mom I was supposed to be, how I was supposed to be.
right.
I 1000% regret that. Like
Mm,
I regret letting
right,
them get into my head
right.
about how I was supposed to act when I was pregnant and what kind of mom I was supposed to be or what was gonna happen. I let them project all their negative
Wow.
energy onto me and
Yeah.
I kind of walked in that for a minute.
Hmm.
And if I could go back to 15-year-old Jada, I'd have smacked every single one of them
And
in
and it's
church.
crazy because at that age,
You're impressionable. You
yes,
don't
like
know
you're
a
still
lot.
like really soaking things in.
Yeah.
So like everything that people would say, you'd really just like take it to heart, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like, okay, like I gotta like, and I know for me, like I took being a mom very serious. Like it was
Yeah.
just like, okay, your life is gonna change. I'm like, I know, okay, like let me figure it out. Like
Yeah.
I gotta do this right, I gotta be perfect, I gotta like
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like you're still really kind of soaking like
Yeah.
a little sponge,
Yeah.
not as much of a sponge. You're a
Yeah.
smaller sponge, but you're still soaking it in. So
Girl,
I can only imagine that.
it was like, and I did not enjoy my pregnancy at all because I let everybody
Yeah,
make me feel bad for being
right.
pregnant instead of just being
Yeah,
like, okay, it's happened now, like let's move on. I
yeah,
still let them make me feel like I was making the biggest mistake of my life. And these
right.
people will turn around to this day and be like, I'm proud of you. You
Right.
have a house. You're doing so good. And like I've had to really be like, God,
Hmm.
because everything that has happened to me, like you said, which is what we know, is for my greater good. God knew that I needed to have my baby when I did. to be where I am
Right now.
today
Absolutely.
for his glory, not even for me. Like people come in my house to this day and I'm like, can I give you a tour?
Yeah.
Just because, like, see how good God is. And if he can do it for me, imagine what he
Right.
can do for you. Like, it'll be 10 times better, like
Right.
10 times bigger. And I know that that has happened because he knows that I'm going to give him 1000% credit for it.
Right.
But I'm like, you didn't want to be in my face when I was 15. You was making me feel like being pregnant. Remember that? But
Right.
now you want to be in my face about my house? I don't
Mm.
like that. I don't like that. And I've had to put my flesh aside and be
Absolutely.
like, girl, it's not about you.
No, and I completely understand that. Like,
But
completely understand that.
that's the one thing that I feel like if I didn't have that,
Mm-hmm.
probably would have still given me some time
Mm-hmm.
to find an identity of who Jada was before I had my son. But I mean, everything happens for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
will never ever get back to that point. But
Right.
I know that that's what had like the biggest
Yeah.
stronghold on me
Right.
growing up was just
Yeah.
like, well, you should feel so bad every day you wake up because you had a baby at 15.
Yeah. And people really like to make it a point.
Mhm.
Like, I think I know.
I
Like,
got women who were preachers, pastors, ministers who had kids the same age I did
mm,
and still try to make me feel like, not even in a loving way on some, oh my God, I've been through it.
yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be there for you, but just try to like shun you and make you
Yeah.
feel bad like they won't
Yeah.
doing the same thing. And you was
Yeah.
probably doing worse. You don't even know my story.
Right.
But I cannot imagine. And I'm like, God, don't ever let me get to that point
Mm-mm.
where I'm like, to me, I don't care what kind of sin it is. Sin is
Right.
sin. I don't get to tell you yours is greater than mine. But
Right.
like, I don't ever want to look at somebody and just be like, oh, well, you
Right. Like can't even.
literally.
Like,
And I realized that that was also a projection because there are some women who also did not have their
yeah.
own identity.
Right.
And oof, I ain't talking about that no more. Anyways, I would love to hear how other moms are like maintaining their
Mhm.
identity. Like
Yeah.
Brittany and Sierra, since they've had their babies,
Mhm.
I want to know what they're doing to make sure they like maintain their
Yeah.
individuality. Whether it's with work, whether it's
Right.
personal, with hobbies, with their
Yeah.
husbands, you know, I want to know from them too, like
Yeah.
what are you intentionally doing to make sure
Yeah.
that you like
And I
keep
think
that?
even I think it's nice to hear because even like for us at this stage, we're
Yeah.
like, I know for me, like I would like to have more kids, but it's just
Yeah.
like, what is that really gonna look like? Like
Yeah.
I'm nervous because then
Yeah.
it's like, you know how your mind just kind of reverts back to
For
like
sure.
I
What
was
you went through.
already a mom before, but
Yeah.
like this is different. But how do I make sure that certain things don't happen again? Like
Hmm.
because I do want to, still have
Yeah.
my own and still feel like I can live in society and be
Hmm.
be, good and add things to the world
Hmm.
along with me providing value to my kid and like
Yeah.
being a good mom. And I mean, like, cause some of that, like, I really be
What does that look like?
like for real.
Yeah. Well, I think it's so good to be surrounded by people who like they have their kids now. So at
Mm,
some point when you do have more kids, they'll be
right,
like, "Oh, girl, yeah, I felt that way too." Or,
right.
"Oh, let me tell you what I did," like
Hmm.
because it is different and it'll be
It's
so
so
many years
different.
later.
Yeah.
You'll have the love and support
No.
to be like, "Oh, yeah, girl, been there, done that." Or let me
Right.
tell you about this.
And it's
Or
crazy because, like, like I was just like, y'all can't ask me about nothing because I
that's
literally,
what I tell people to this day. My friends
it's
will be
so
like,
different.
at 6 months, did you start feeding him table
I have
food?
no
I have
idea.
no
No
idea.
idea.
None.
I don't remember. Like,
I might can find a video
oh,
and be
right.
like,
Or a
okay, he was
picture
three
like this
months.
was,
That's mashed potatoes on that plate. Yeah.
right.
I don't know.
No idea. And everything's so different. Technology is different. They got
Hmm.
apps. Like, but
Yeah, you can keep track of everything and do everything.
that's, so I'd be like, I'm probably not a good resource in terms of like that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I would
But
say like,
it'll
like
definitely
wrong.
work out to the point where it's just like everybody around you will be like,
Yeah.
the love and the support will be there. So that
Yeah.
way it won't feel so like,
Crazy.
oh my
Like,
God.
am I really doing this again? Like,
Yeah.
like, no, I'm excited about that though.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
But you'll have that support to be able to
Yeah.
uplift
Yeah.
and keep that reminder of having your individuality.
Yeah,
You
because I
know,
think now
like I
it's
want
just
that to be
like,
easier when you're older. I don't know. Maybe easier isn't the word that I would use.
but maybe like
Maybe because you've been
easier
doing it for
because
so
you've already,
long.
yeah, like you've already established a routine. Like
Yeah.
I remember because like I think it was Sierra that was just like, I can't wait to like drop this baby so I can go to like wine tasting.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I love that for you. Like, because
But
like
even then,
this,
she didn't do it when she thought she would.
no.
Y'all, we gonna put your business out there, friend. Well, this was her baby shower.
hmm
Hadn't even popped yet. She talking about, I think
It
she
was just
was,
like August or like
it
3
was like
months
2 months at
after.
it. So while she's pregnant, she goes, yeah, in August, I'm thinking all denim,
Right.
wine
Right.
tasting. We'll meet at a winery. And me and Shanice like,
That's
whatever you say.
nice.
Yeah, you let us
I'm loving it for
know.
you.
Not a chance.
We seen Sierra once.
Literally, not a chance.
Yeah, it's different. It's
And we was
different.
like, yeah, we gonna see how you feeling after you pop out
Right.
this baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, maybe no, not yet. Yeah, we knew that already. We just
No,
needed you to come to
that's
that conclusion. That's
yeah.
okay.
No, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's good that like I think because we've kind of already and I think the timeline,
Yeah.
may be different for some people because
Yeah.
you're adjusting to like a new way of life. But like
Literally.
at some point you're just like, oh my God, like I can't wait to go do this again.
Yeah.
Because this is what I've been doing before. I've
Mm-hmm.
been, doing it all this time.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to do it again?
Feel that.
And you'll probably find like new things also that are, kid friendly.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, maybe instead of doing like Pilates,
Mm-hmm.
we go walking with the stroller. Like,
Yeah.
like it's still I'm working out,
Yeah.
but
Baby steps.
kid friendly.
Yeah. I feel that. I like that. Because there could be something done,
Yeah.
like in the meantime.
Yeah.
Do you think you have any, excuse me, that was rude. Do you think you have any tips to give a mom to like maintain her individuality and her identity while she's like being a mom, whether it's a new stage or whether she's 6 years in?
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe just like taking it day by day.
Yeah.
And I think, taking the little moments
Mm-hmm.
to yourself. Like, because I think
Yeah.
sometimes it's not always like a big, it didn't have to be like, oh, like we're taking a weekend away,
Yeah.
or, me and my husband or boyfriend, like we're doing that. Like, sometimes it's really just like at the end of the night, you're just, oh, I'm going to go read my book. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, y'all, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
talk to you tomorrow. Like, I'm going to go read. Like, I think it's really, just trying to find those little moments where
Yeah.
you can like just put it in your schedule,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm gonna go thrifting or like something that you like to do. And
I
like when you
agree.
have the time, instead of thinking that you gotta fill it with work or like
Mm-hmm.
fill it with, I gotta clean or I gotta like do
Yeah.
laundry, like take time in the moment to just say, like, let me just do something that
I
I like to
agree.
do. Like I typically do that with Netflix. Like
Yeah.
I just like because I can't focus on anything else but TV when I watch TV. So
Yeah.
like instead of me trying to like multitask, like I'm just gonna sit and watch TV
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I like to do.
Period. I think
And
that's good to
you know,
be intentional, like make it
yeah,
intentional. And then I would definitely say to like give yourself some grace because it is a process. Like you might be like, oh, I used to love thrifting, but now I go to the store and I'm stressed because what the baby doing is my
right,
husband okay, is everybody
yeah,
maybe it's something else. Maybe it is just a walk,
yeah,
a couple miles around the block or whatever. But like it's gonna take some time. Cause even then,
yeah,
like maybe you like something different now. You just
right,
don't know it yet. So I
yeah.
feel like it's a
I'm
process.
trying new things too.
Yeah, like
Like
trying to
I
figure
said,
out
yeah, because I don't think you always know all of it.
for sure.
And I think it is a process. And like I think as you get older, you kind of discover new things
Yeah.
anyways. Like where it's just like I didn't know that I was gonna like live
Mm-hmm.
music. Like, but that's so fun to me. Like I
Yeah.
love that. I feel so grown when I do it too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go listen to music,
Yeah.
but and it's not a lot of young people there. So it's like it's a
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't have never guessed that,
That's
like
what
I
you
would like
like.
that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that wouldn't have been something I told people like 6 years ago or
Yeah.
10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I just
I
like trying
agree.
new things and like saying yes when your friends invite you out.
I was literally about to say, I feel like spending more time with your girls, not more time, but like make sure you
Like
have
spending
time,
time, yeah.
period, with your girls is so important
Yeah.
because
You need that community.
you need that community.
Hmm.
Like that's so important to
And like
have.
having some friends that don't have kids, that don't, like having like a
Yeah,
mixture, like,
agreed.
like because your friends that don't have the same responsibilities you gonna make
Mm-hmm.
sure you have a good
Fact.
time. They gonna make sure you have a good time. They gonna make sure you safe. They gonna make sure you get home back to your man
Yeah,
and your kids all in one piece. But they gonna make sure you have a good time and you
facts.
think about you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I feel like me having friends like that is helpful.
See, I don't know because I feel like even with my friends who don't have kids, I'm still the one that's like,
Like
let's
maybe
go.
maybe it's a personality
It
thing.
might be a personality thing. People know my friends without
Typically,
kids are like, nah, we can just chill.
I
Chill.
typically have friends that
We're
are
going
like
out.
on the more outgoing side.
Yeah.
I'm the more like, I mean, like I don't mind going out, but
Yeah.
I think it's helpful to have those outgoing
I
friends.
agree. You gotta have a mixture,
So
like you
maybe not
said.
like the friends that don't have kids. Maybe just your outgoing friends.
Yeah. I agree. I think that that's important because sometimes you don't even realize that you need that until
Mhm.
like,
Until you're missing it.
yeah, or you go and you're like, oh my, that was the
Like
time of
that was
my
so fun. Like we
life.
had
Like I had
time.
a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love those.
Me
Those are
too.
good. I was like that, like, because I've been spending a lot of time with my boyfriend, like
Hmm.
doing family stuff. And I was just like,
Oh
I
my
miss my
girls.
friends.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's good to have too, like having a balance,
I
just so
agree.
that you still feel like yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just a mom or just a wife or just a partner. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I'm a friend too,
Right.
and my friends are like, we be having the time.
Exactly. I love that. I
Yeah.
agree. I think that that's great.